Man, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of EOS. It's 1090 Jake, man. I'm rocking with y'all rocking with me. And for this video, we're going to be speaking on Florida rapper Wizz Havinn getting caught with a switch. August 10th, 2023. The Alachua County Sheriff's Action Unit were monitoring traffic on the highway when they spotted a black Lincoln Navigator with dock tints. Sheriffs began following the vehicle, watching it swerve in and out of lanes without turn signals. Pulling the vehicle over, sheriffs made contact with the driver, who was identified as 22-year-old Tariq Williams, but more commonly known as rising Tallahassee rapper Wizz Havinn. With the window rolled down, the sheriff immediately detected a strong odor of marijuana. Wizz was told the reason he was stopped was because of his tints, which were found to be 17%. Wizz and his passenger, identified as Kiari McClure, both denied having medical marijuana cards. The officer would speak with both men, getting inconsistent stories, and a probable cause search would be conducted on the vehicle. A blunt would be found inside of an ashtray, and in the back were shoes and clothes that Wizz claimed were mostly his. In the area that stores tools for roadside assistance, the officer located a towel. Wrapped inside the towel were 2 handguns. A search of both serial numbers would reveal both guns were reported stolen, one of which was a Glock with a switch. The small auto sear attached to the rear of the slide converts the semi-automatic handgun into a fully automatic machine gun, and post Miranda, both men denied knowledge of the firearms. While reviewing video of the patrol vehicle backseat camera, the officer observed Wizz make multiple statements, making it appear he had knowledge of the firearms. During the video, Wizz was very interested in which area officers were searching. At one point, he began praying and stating he hopes they don't open a particular area inside of the vehicle. Wizz would lean over Kiari to get a better view of what was being searched, and would even apologize to Kiari for putting him in this situation. Wizz would assure him he'd be okay, but not him, because he's already been convicted. When officers began removing items from the cargo area, Wizz asked Kiari if he thinks they found them. Because the only illegal items found in the car were 2 guns, it's believed Wizz was referring to the guns and therefore had prior knowledge of them. A quick look through the system would show Wizz was a convicted felon over a 2020 arrest. Back in August of 2020, Wizz was recognized through previous interactions by an officer in traffic who knew he didn't have a driver's license. His vehicle was pulled over, and once again, officers smelled marijuana, searched the vehicle, and found 2 grams of cocaine along with rolling papers and weed paraphernalia. The case would end with Wizz being sentenced to 18 months of probation and him now being a convicted felon. But back to the original case. Because Wizz is a felon, he'd normally be charged with carrying a concealed firearm and possession of a machine gun for the Glock with the switch, but he wasn't. The vehicle Wizz was driving was a rental, and the weapons were found in a back compartment, leaving room for officers to debate if the 2 men had actual knowledge of the weapons. Officers also had yet to review the dash camera footage from the police vehicle of Wizz talking. So the firearms were confiscated while Wizz and his friend were free to go, and officers sent the weapons in to be analyzed for fingerprints and DNA. 16 days later, Orlando police would spot the same black Lincoln Navigator with dock tints traveling through the city. The vehicle would be pulled over, and officers could smell burnt marijuana immediately as they approached the vehicle. Kiari McClure, the passenger from the Glock switch case, was now in the driver's seat, along with 3 others in the vehicle, including Wizz. A search of the vehicle would recover multiple designer bags of weed, 2 open containers of alcohol, and one of the men would claim ownership of 2 bags containing 6 grams of marijuana, while Wizz would tell officers the rest of the marijuana was his. The rest being approximately 57 grams, a felony amount in the state of Florida. But with Wizz taking ownership, he essentially spared everyone else in the car from a felony charge. Wizz would bond out for $1,000, and months would go by while Alachua sheriffs examined the Glock with a switch and found either a fingerprint or DNA belonging to Wizz. January 9th, 2024. Tallahassee police would take Wizz Havinn into custody after Alachua County Sheriff sent out a warrant for his arrest. Wizz would officially be charged with possession of a firearm by a convicted felon and possession of a machine gun. Both crimes are punishable by up to 15 years in state prison each. But because he's a felon and the gun had a switch, it leaves room for the possibility that the feds could pick up the case, which surprisingly would result in less punishment, as a felon with a firearm and possession of a machine gun is only punishable by up to 10 years in federal prison. Either way it goes, Wizz is currently one of Florida's rising rap stars and is out on a $100,000 bond. Now I'm gonna say this for y'all that didn't pick up on it. Wizz a stand-up dude. Wizz was in the back of the police car with his homie, not realizing that the camera in the back of the police car is recording. I don't know how many of y'all have been in the back of them, but sometimes where the glass wall is, there'll be like a little webcam looking shit right there recording you, or the dash cam in the front where the police sit at. Either way, one of them picked up on him talking, looking at what the police were searching, and I mean, he shouldn't have said anything, but at the same time, he's fucking panicking. If you got a Glock with a switch inside of your car and you're watching the police search your car, you are feeling an amount of anxiety and adrenaline that you've probably never felt before. Just getting searched by the police or having the police pull you over and you know you got some shit in the car you ain't supposed to have, your heart's already beating like crazy. So he's talking to his boy in the back. And this is the thing. Nothing he said can affect his homie. He even apologizes to his homie for putting him in this position. And his homie never got charged. The prince only came back to Wizz. But Wizz is in the back freaking out. They end up finding the guns. They let him go. They charge him with it later on. 2 weeks later, Wizz gets picked up again. And this time he gets hit with a felony amount of weed. And this is the important thing in this situation. When you got multiple people in the car and the police find anything, if someone doesn't say it's mine, everybody gets charged. In the state of Florida, anything more than 20 grams is a felony amount. 57 grams are on the table, nobody's claiming it. One guy claimed 6 grams were his, but 57 is sitting right there. It's a felony amount of weed. And Wizz says, you know what, that's mine. And spares everyone else in that car from getting charged. I salute that shit. That's real. Cause yeah, motherfuckers can be like, oh, he's supposed to take his charge. That's usually never how the fuck it goes. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Most people just get quiet and look around and they don't want to be like, man, bro, take your charge, because they're gonna say that's snitching. But Wizz said, fuck that. You know what? I'm gonna eat this shit whether it was his or not. And he ended up catching the case for it. Now, I don't know if y'all in tune with his music, but that motherfucker there got some shit. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's comfortable right now. He just made a $100,000 bond. If it was 100, he only got to pay 10%. That's 10K. The way he making moves with the music, he's probably got a decent ass defense team for this case. And the thing is, I don't think it's gonna go Fed. Reason being, the feds are only gonna pick it up if they can punish you worse than what the state is gonna do. In this case, the state could actually give him more time than the feds. But if it stays state, it's also better for him because he has a better opportunity at beating the case. Once you get hit with a Fed case, you can pretty much guarantee you about to lay down and do some time. So we'll just have to wait and see how this goes for Wizz. But shout out to him for keeping it real, being stand up about his situation, and taking his charge how he's supposed to. It's 1090 Jake. Let me know y'all's thoughts and comments in the comment section. I'm rocking with y'all rocking with me. Till next time.